Alright. Lost the die roll, but our hand is good. Turn 1 Soul's Attendant, turn 2 Gather, turn 3 maybe cycle this and play something else, turn 4 Battle Screech. Elite Vanguard, okay, well, assuming they don't have a Journey to Nowhere, this Soul's Attendant might give us a lot of value versus an aggressive deck. Alright, there's the Attendant, and let's see what it does. Deft Blade Elite. It's got Provoke. When this creature attacks, you may have target creature defending player controls untap and block a Defable. One of the white prevent all combat damage that would be dealt to and dealt by Deft Blade Elite this turn. Okay. So it can take out our Soul's Attendant for us, unfortunately. Alright. I could go ahead and attack with this Soul's Attendant here if I wanted to. Oh, they have a Secluded Step as well. Since they're going to be able to force this trade anyway. But I think I'll just wait and make them do it. Hyena Umbra. First strike. Okay, so here's the combo. They first strike, and then they use the activated ability. So they've already dealt their first strike damage, so it can't be prevented. Well, it can be prevented, but it's already happened, so it's not prevented. And then they prevent the creature they're attacking into from striking back if it somehow died. Or if it somehow still survived. So now they get to kill this. And I can't triple block here because it'll kill 2 things that I won't even get to trade. Well, we might just lose to this Hyena Umbra, killing a creature every turn. And even if I try to Borrowed Grace on defense to block it, it's not going to matter because then they just activate the ability of it and it prevents the damage I would deal to it. So I can't kill it that way. Unless they tap out before attacking, which is not likely. I'll cycle this main phase to try to find a token maker. Borrowed Grace. Well, I guess I could have attacked there. Oh well. They cycle another Secluded Step. I'm pretty sure we're losing this match. Unless we draw really well and they don't draw anything else, because this Deathblade plus Hyena combo, taking out a creature turn, is going to be way too fast for us. Glittering Links. Prevent all damage that would be dealt to Glittering Links. So it's like a 1 mana, 1 power, but indestructible, sort of. Indestructible through combat damage. But we can pay 2 mana to make it lose that ability. This is a really interesting deck. So play Battle Screech or hold open Borrowed Grace. I guess we just play Battle Screech, as bad as it is. Mana Tithe. Wow. We got completely wrecked. Now we have 3 Borrowed Grace and about to be no creatures on the battlefield. That is hilarious. Not hilarious in a good way, but still hilarious. Ethereal Armor, okay. They probably have more Umbra than just Hyena Umbra if they're running this. And Benevolent Bodyguard. Wow, so this is like a mono white, like sort of like a Voltron build, like a heroic build, where they're going all in on creatures like Glittering Links and Defiant. And they have Benevolent to protect from like Journey to Nowhere effects and such. Alright, and we draw the 4th Borrowed Grace. Let's go ahead and play this Plains just so our hand is exactly the playset of Borrowed Grace. And we'll just think about if any of these help us. I guess we could escalate one of these to give all of our creatures, all 0 of them, +2/+2. We could pay for this glittering links twice. That's a good play. Yep, got them. Now what are they going to do? All right, we will concede and sideboard. All right, so Sundering Growth could be good. Takes out an Umbra. We can also do it at instant speed. That seems like a really good card. Journey to Nowhere also seems important against their Voltron builds, even if they do have the Benevolent Bodyguard to protect. Holy Light doesn't hit their creatures. Luma Thread Field doesn't do anything. Soul's Attendant could be good for racing, but we're already bringing in so much. Sun's Enlistment is too slow. What are the other 5 cards I want to cut? None of these creatures are really too scary on their own if I Sundering Growth away their enchantment, so I'm not sure if I need all 4 Sundering Growth and then all 3 Journey to Nowhere on top of that. Who am I kidding? I probably do. What am I going to cut then? Let's cut the Remosian Rally, the weaker pump spell. And let's cut 1 Borrowed Grace and 2 Soul Warden. Go down on creatures a little bit, down on pump a little bit for some interaction. Actually, we cut too much again, didn't we? We didn't mean to cut these. Raise the Alarm too. Put those back in there. All right, and we'll submit. All right, get to be on the play. Well, we have no sideboard cards. Oh, actually, sorry, we do. We have a Journey. Hand's a little bit awkward in terms of mana. We'll go with the turn 1 Selfless, even though it means we can't play turn 2 Journey. Just to be able to start attacking, and we might draw all planes. Deathblade Elite, okay, there it is. Go ahead and attack, since they can force us to block it anyway. And now, if they enchant it up and then kill our Selfless Cathar, then we can Journey to Nowhere it. Alright, that's what they're going for. Hopefully they don't have a Benevolent Bodyguard as well this turn. Illegal blocking. Oh, yeah. I have to do this manually. And now we just need to draw lands to get to Battle Screech. So now we hope they don't have God's Willing. Or a Disenchant effect. Or a Mana Tithe. Oh, this is bad. Well, we need to draw lands for Battle Screech, but we also need to draw another sideboard card to get rid of this Deft Blade. And they're just dumping their hand. Hopeful Eidolon. One card in hand. Not really sure what this relic is doing against us. Sundering Growth. Well, I can play Cathar and it'll immediately die, or I can Sundering Growth. And I might as well do it now, so that they can't Mana Tithe it. Boop. Alright, taking 3 damage a turn. Secluded Step, okay. I guess I'll play that. They can choose to force me to trade this Selfless Cathar if they like. And they probably will, because otherwise I get to kill their Lifelinker. Which is pretty good if you get to enchant it up. The Battle of the Mono-White builds. I wonder if they provoke it with both creatures, if it would break Magic Online. Hopefully not. But I wouldn't put it past Mono. Cho Mano's Blessing? What on earth? What kind of wacky cards are they playing here? Flash, enchant creature as it enters the battlefield, choose a color that has protection from the chosen color, but this effect doesn't remove Chomano's Blessing, so they can name white without the enchantment immediately following off. Wow. We have been blown out, and we have been had. Alright, well, they're down to 0 cards in hand until they crack this relic and get a card back from it, which I'm surprised they don't do main phase in case it's a creature they want to play. Soul's Attendant, I could play that, but then it would just die to this combo here, so I'll save it. I can't believe we're going to lose to Chomano's Blessing. That's a hilarious card. Bam. Alright, there's a land. Well, we can play Battle Screech, but we can't flash it back, so there's no real point. Since we would just lose one of our creatures, we have to keep on waiting until we have another land. Then we could play like Soul's Attendant plus Battle Screech plus flash back to Battle Screech. And then the following turn cast Triplicate Spirits and try to catch up with this thing that's eating one of our creatures every turn. Raise the alarm, okay. I'm not actually sure if there's anything in Client that tells me whether or not this creature is provoked. Oh yeah, no? It doesn't say it on here. It doesn't say it in the chat log whether or not they chose yes for the provoke ability. So now Guardian's Pledge, just to save this, or Raise the Alarm to start trading things off. I will go with Raise the Alarm and hope that it works. Alright, they decide to save that by sacrificing the Benevolent Bodyguard. And also they have another Chomano's Blessing, because they don't want me to get rid of the Helpful Eidolon. My goodness. This is insanity. And a Glittering Length. Borrowed Grace. Okay. Well, I'm going to get this killed by that. So do I play Battle Screech and flash it back, or do I not? I think I do still. Now I'm going to sacrifice 2 birds to get rid of 1 Deft Blade. Oh, they're not even going to attack with it. How rude. Oh, yes, they are. Here we go. Deathblade Elite. Okay, so they're going to go ahead and activate that now, even before I block, so I know what's up. Oh, the effects area. Is this where I find out what's going on? I don't know. The effects area is empty again. So this one can't block these because they have protection from white. It can block either one. It's not going to block there because it has damage prevented. This one, illegal blocking, bird token must block. Which one? Which one must block? It doesn't tell me. I guess I'll just try one at a time. Nope, not that one. This one? There's probably a way to figure out which one it provoked, but I can't tell. Alright, so that bounces off. So this can't eat creatures anymore because they're white and they can't block it because it has protection from white. So, 5. I can play triplicate spirits into triplicate spirits, right? 3, yes. So I'll do that. I can't stop this damage of 2 damage a turn, so I don't know if I can race this. But I am going to try. They finally cash in their relic for a card. I'm surprised they didn't do that earlier. Ethereal Armor would kill me here. Do I want to chump block just to prevent 1 damage? I don't think I do. Falling to 1 and falling to 2 are pretty similar when they have 2 creatures enchanted with Chomano's Blessing on the battlefield. I suppose if I draw a removal for the enchantment or for one of those creatures, then being at 2 would be better. Alright, here's my attack. Is that lethal? I think that's lethal, assuming they don't have a damage prevention effect. Or a Mana Tithe for my second pump spell. If this is lethal, this is going to be the most hilarious game in the entire world. Boop. They have 2 cards in the hand and they didn't do anything on their turn, like Ethereal Blessing or play another blocker. So I have a feeling they have a Mana Tithe, but we'll see. This actually, is this lethal already? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, that's 30 damage if either one of these resolves. Oh my goodness. I'll just pass. Make them make the first move. See if they have some sort of fog effect. Oh my goodness. The battle of the mono white decks, where one deck just has a bunch of random tokens, and one of them has Chomano's Blessing and Provoke creatures. And glittering links. Hilarious. If they'd drawn an Ethereal Armor so they could have attacked for more damage, they would have won, but... Alright. 2 interaction spells. Only a single token maker. We need to draw a lot more creatures, but with 2 interaction, hopefully we can buy enough time. They mulligan to 5, but they put a card on top. Start off with a Bodyguard, which is going to make this Journey to Nowhere a lot worse. Unless I can somehow trade off with this in combat, maybe with a Raise the Alarm. And they pass the turn. Alright, I'm not going to play Gather here. If they didn't do anything on their turn, that raises the chance that they have a Mana Tithe in hand. And I'd rather them have to use that mana on their turn for Mana Tithe. Additionally, I'd rather surprise them and make them think that I have nothing and then cast Raise the Alarm and trade off with this Benevolent Bodyguard. They are giving me the option, so let's see if they have the Mana Tithe. Chomano's Blessing. Okay, well, they should have waited for me to block before they did that, so they could eat one of my creatures. Protection from white, okay. I can Sundering Growth that and populate, and it's going to be great. Start off with a Soul Warden. If they Mana Tithe my first Sundering Growth, even that'll be fine. Because I have another one to follow up on the next turn. This is shaping up to be a very good game for me since they had to mulligan and since I drew 3 sideboard cards. Let's see if this works. Okay, we get the first one mana tithed. Not too big of a deal. They get to get in for one and keep their benevolent bodyguard for another turn. So the question is, do I want to play around Mana Tithe by not casting the Selfless Cathar? Let's start off by attacking. Beckon Apparition. Exile target card from a graveyard. Create a 1/1 with flying. Okay. Not really anything I can do about that. They get to gain a life. They're conceivably probably going to block with the Soul Warden. I could do the Sunring Growth now in order to make sure I gain my life off the Soul Warden trigger, but I would rather do it after they attack with the Bodyguard. However, there's a good chance that they're just not going to attack with the Bodyguard now. They're going to leave it back with as a blocker, so I guess I'll go ahead and do this now. Get my life gain. And let's see if they have the Mana Tithe. They might not even use it for a 1-drop. Vigilance, okay. This comes back as a 2/1 with no... Oh, 2/1 they can't block, okay. Alright, so I'm going to go with the Journey to Nowhere here. This is a very annoying blocker, and I'd rather just keep on getting in for damage while our opponent doesn't have anything to do. And they just choose to sacrifice a Benevolent Bodyguard to save it, that's fine too. That means they can't use a Benevolent Bodyguard to sacrifice something later, to save something later. And they're drawing to 2 cards in hand. Deathblade Elite. We go back up to 20. Could attack and use Borrowed Grace now, but I'd rather just play Gather the Townsfolk and wait a turn till I have more tokens. I could attack here, just because I have this Selfless Cathar ability. Yeah, that seems good. If I do that, they're going to block here and do nothing else. Then I have to sacrifice and this still dies. But I get to get in 6 damage and take them down to 10. So any 4 creatures is lethal. Actually, that doesn't seem so good. I'll save the Selfless Cathar ability. I can use it next turn if I draw planes. They're going to provoke the Selfless Cathar. Alright, so they did provoke it. I still don't know how to tell whether or not they actually said yes to this triggered ability or not. So this has to block here, and they can choose whether or not they trade. If I want to, I could sacrifice this and get a +2/+2 effect, +1/+1 effect, and then block and block both their creatures, and then they would activate the ability, so that this would bounce off instead, and they'd be left with a 2/1 they can't block. But I don't really care to trade with this thing and give them a 2/1 they can't block. It's going to trade anyway whenever I attack him with Borrowed Grace. Let's see if they make this trade happen, or if they prevent damage to and from. Guardian's Pledge. Okay, they're doing this just to save their Deathblade Elite. That's fine. They go down to 0 cards in hand. I did not know they had pump spells in their deck, but apparently they do. And this is not quite lethal, is it? Nope. I'll attack, they'll block, I'll Borrowed Grace, they'll go to 1, and then they'll die on the next turn. I suppose I should have played this Plains for entwining the Borrowed Grace and saving whatever they blocked. The reason I didn't was because I was thinking of my Retrace spell, but that doesn't make any sense because I sideboarded that out. Oh well, I don't need this creature to win. They're going to be at 1 life, and they have 0 card in hand. And they only have 1 blocker. So I don't think they can get out of this. Even if they draw a Hopeful Eidolon, and they gain 3 life, which is 4, or yeah, they gain 3 life and go to 4, then they'd still be dead. Alright, our opponent conceded. Pretty epic mono-white Provoke versus mono-white tokens showdown. We went 4-1 overall, which is pretty great. This is a list that you can play around with a little bit if you like. The original list did have, I think, 1 Mana Tithe in it, as our opponent had Mana Tithe in that last game. So you could add in Mana Tithes, you could change around the creature base maybe a little bit, change around the pump spells, add more or fewer Remosian rallies. In any case, it's a fun list. Hope you enjoyed watching. If you did, don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you can watch all of our videos and never miss one. Thanks to all of you for watching, and I will see you next time.